Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amanda Rose, and today I have a video for you all that I have entitled 5 Things Every Teacher Should Do Before the End of the School Year. Now, I've already made this video. I think I made it last year or possibly the year before. But that video was under the context that we were still in the school building. And so a lot of those tips are not really relevant right now, and so I wanted to redo the video. A lot of my points are similar, but obviously I'm providing different practical ways to implement these 5 things because we're home and we're teaching remotely, and so there are just certain things that are not going to be applicable that are in that old video. If you still want to check out that video, I'll make sure that I put it in the description bar, but for now, we are going to talk about 5 things every teacher should do before the end of the school year, an updated version. This is the remote teaching version. If you haven't already, please make sure that you subscribe to my channel. I am trying to post videos every Thursday and Sunday, and so if you want to see more of my content, please make sure that you subscribe, that you click the notification bell so that you are notified when I post videos. And let's get into it. 5 things every teacher should do before the end of this school year. First point, reflect on your strengths and weaknesses. Now, being bombarded with remote teaching in the last couple of months has definitely been an adjustment. And if you guys are like me, I'm still adjusting to remote teaching. There's still so much that I'm learning, still so much that I don't know, and I'm still trying to figure out what works best, not just for my students, but also for me, what feels comfortable, what feels natural, and so that's gonna take some time. So I would highly advise taking out a notebook, taking out the notes section of your phone, and writing down your strengths and weaknesses, specifically when it came to remote teaching. So, for example, what were some common issues that constantly kept coming up that you can fix for next year? What parts of communication do you think were not clear? Was it an email system? Was it a schedule that you had to create for yourself? What exactly did you not like about the setup? What did you enjoy about the setup? You want to make sure that you are reflecting because more than likely, some type of remote teaching will be implemented in the fall. And so this is not a one-time thing, at least I don't think it will be, where we're like, oh, we tried it, did it, rolled with the punches. Hi everyone, in September. No, I don't think that that's what's gonna happen. I genuinely believe that there will be some part of remote teaching still involved in September. And so it is really important to reflect and figure out what didn't work so that you can start thinking of preparing for September to have a smoother transition. We've experienced it now, and so we know what to expect. So definitely reflect. What did you like? What didn't you like? And how can you improve? Obviously to the best of your ability, because there are certain things that will always be out of our control. I'm just trying to figure out whatever I can control, I want to be in control of. And so there are certain things that you can control, that you can plan for, to just have a better idea of what next year will look like. And I think that that will be very, very important for whatever happens in September. So number 2, save at least 2 to 3 samples of student work. I always do this when I've been in the building, but now I believe it is so important. I cannot tell you how many times I tried to communicate expectations for assignments, whether it be through email. I videoed myself. I went on Zoom and still was like, is this what we have to do? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I created documents that highlighted, underlined, bold, large text, small text. I tried it all and I still didn't get exactly what I wanted from them. And so whether it be communication is missing, whether it be just a misunderstanding, it's important to save at least 2 to 3 examples of student work, things that you know you can assign again during September or during the next rollout of remote teaching, so that you can share those things with students. We would do it in the classroom, and so I think that this is a really good idea. For example, moving forward, there was an essay that I had assigned, and there were a lot of missing pieces, regardless of how many times I kept reiterating what components should be in the essay, I still kept getting a lot of the essays missing those valuable components. So definitely archiving some student work so that I can send that out so that we can read it together as a class so the students know what to expect moving forward, I think is going to be very, very valuable and save you a lot of time repeating yourself. Number 3, organize all of the materials that you have used thus far for remote teaching. It's going to be very important, and also it's going to help you mentally when you start in September if you begin organizing the things that you have used for remote teaching thus far. What needs to be tossed, what needs to be revised or modified, but you want to organize those things so that when September rolls around or whenever your new school year starts, then at least you have a clear plan of organization. But I would not wait until last minute. I think we definitely need the summer to rest. And so if you do have a little bit of extra time during your day, I think just starting off with creating a folder and organizing all of those things and putting them then into units or whatever the case may be. But definitely organize all of the materials that you have used thus far during remote teaching. Create a folder of the websites that you think have been beneficial. You want to start building a portfolio of all of those resources so that you don't feel like you're starting from scratch when the school year does start again. Number 4, have students fill out a survey. Student feedback is so important, and it's one of the biggest things that I use in my classroom to figure out how I want to structure the next year. I think it's going to be really important to hear from your students, especially now. What do they think was missing from remote teaching / learning? What do they want? What do they need less of? What do they need more of? Maybe there's something that you think worked so well and then you get feedback from your students and they're like, yeah, no, didn't like it. So getting your student feedback is important. I have discussed that I use Google Forms. It's really easy tool to just create a survey and then students can submit it. You can share it with them through Google Classroom, have them fill it out, and then you get to have student feedback, which is going to be really helpful for the following year. And then the last tip, thank and encourage every student. I love doing this every single year. It was also in my previous video, but now more than ever, our students need to be encouraged and thanked for their hard work, for their dedication, for their persistence, for their ability to adapt. As adults, we've probably had a really hard time. How much more our students? And so thanking and encouraging them. There are multiple ways that you can do this. In the past, I have created or I have printed out these recognition awards. I buy them off of Amazon, but Amazon has a bunch of them, and you're just recognizing students for anything. It doesn't have to be academic. It can be the best smile. It can be the best joke teller. You can give out awards for the student that always asks the best questions, a student that you can always count on to help, the best listener, the one that always helps clean up. Anything at all to recognize them as human beings, as people, whether it be their personality or their character. You definitely want to do this. Now, because it's remote teaching, it might be a little harder to do this. Take a screenshot of one of the awards, and then that can be your background on like a Google Slides, and then you can just add in the names and what they're recognized for on the Google Slides. You can share that with the students. You can dedicate a whole class day on Zoom where they would have to like guess the next person, or you can like say a little blurb and then they would have to guess who it is. And so this is something that you can do during class on Zoom or on Google Meets. And then you can always turn those things into PDFs, and then you can send it to the students so that they can have a PDF version of their award. If your school allows you, you can just get those awards, you can purchase them, and then you can just fill them out yourself and mail them to the students. Whatever it is, you can do little gift baskets, little gift bags, whether finances permit, and also if your school allows you to, but in some way, shape, or form, creating something for them is so important. Your words matter more than if they did the work. It's just recognizing them, and I think that that is probably the most important tip. that I would advise for you guys to do before the end of the school year. And that's it. Those are the 5 tips, short, simple, to the point. Hopefully they've given you some ideas on what to do and how to organize your time now that we are slowly approaching the end of the school year. And again, don't forget to like this video, to subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.